everybody, this is the Very Vibrant Makeup channel. I actually was going to kind of film another way to use my Lolita shadow, and then this just came in, so I had to do this instead. I just was so excited because I didn't expect it this early. They have super fast shipping. So yeah, so what this is, sorry, I have to open it. I'm so excited. This is the Juvia's Place, the Zulu palette. Looking at the box, it is holographic. I don't know if you could see that on camera, but it is a holographic type of packaging. It's got a little holographic, and it's got these beautiful designs as per usual from Juvia's Place. I love these palettes just because for the price, it's really good, and then you're getting a lot of colors. So to remind you, and might remind you in every video because I can't get enough of these. My first palette was the Juvia's Place Nubian palette. This is the Nubian palette. This one is, it's not my favorite, but I love the copper shade right here. It doesn't have any names, so I can't really tell you what the name is, but it's a really, really cool palette. I love this palette. The pigmentation is really nice, and this is my Naturals palette, so I think out of all the palettes in my collection, this is my favorite neutral palette. And then I also have the Nubian 2 palette by Juvia's Place. This one is so nice, and it reminds me of the Kat Von D Serpentina palette. It's got the same kind of color selection, and it's really big pans. Then I got the Masquerade Mini by Juvia's Place, and that's what it looks like. They're just smaller pans, but you get a lot of colors, and honestly, I don't need that many big shades because I don't really go through. The only palette I've actually hit pan on was my Modern Renaissance palette, and I actually got rid of that one just because I don't reach for it anymore. So I kind of like whatever was left, I kind of gave it away. And then I bought the Saharan palette, so I will link the videos for the Nubian 1, 2, and then the Masquerade one in the description bar, and I'll link this one as well. This is the Saharan. It's much smaller. It's similar in size to the Nubian palette. Let me grab that. Just a little bit bigger. So that's what those two look like side by side. I think it's just spaced out a little bit more. That's the only difference between the two, but the pan sizes look about the same, but I love this palette. It's a really good palette. And then you've seen my recent videos. I finally did two really successful tutorials, and it's on this guy, the Magic palette. This is a gorgeous palette. The colors are unique. They're really pretty, and you will see more tutorials from me on those. So now let's get into the Zulu by Juvia's. About this palette, and what I love about all the palettes that they have is that they have this beautiful design. This is also, I just noticed, holographic just a bit. It's really pretty, but the design, the artwork on it is really pretty. This is inspired by African kind of styles, artwork. So, ooh, wow. This is like more beautiful than I've ever thought in my entire life. Those are the colors. Look how big the pans are. Yes, you're getting 9 shades, but you're getting 9 huge pans. So, let's see. Each pan is about, I'm trying to think. Okay, so the total, it looks like it's 1.14 ounces, 32.4 grams. So I think that's all of them together. I'm not sure how many are each of them. They do have talc in them, so if you're allergic to talc, I would not recommend this for you. Luckily I'm not, because I get to play with this guy. So yes, my face is kind of bare. I'm going to zoom you in. We're going to do some swatches. Ooh, and I noticed the pink is holographic. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's holographic as well. It's got that beautiful woman on there. The colors on this is so pretty. I mean, you can't beat that. So I'm going to do finger swatches as well as brush swatches right next to each other, so you can kind of see what they look like. Finger swatch, and then we'll try it on. I'm going to put a look together. So I kind of like to look at the colors, see what I'm going to go for, and then just kind of go from there. I might not use all the colors, but I'll use some of the colors in the palette. So let's get started. right, so there are the swatches for the palette. Some of them were a little difficult. The mattes were a little difficult. I know this one didn't show up that well, but I kind of want to just see. I mean, on my finger, of course, it comes out well. I think this one's just going to be a shade that you're going to have to play with a little bit more. Of course, I didn't use the best shader brush. This is my Sonia Kashuk. It's not the best. It's a little scratchy, but don't worry. I'm going to do a demonstration on my eyes so that you guys can see what it looks like on the eyes. I'm kind of trying to figure out, because like usually palettes, I like a cohesive palette just so that I know what kind of looks I'm going for. This one is very bright, so this is going to be very summery. I think it can carry it to spring next year. But the colors are very bold, very bright. We have 1, 2, 3 metallics, and then the rest, 6 of them are matte. So I like the fact that they have matte bolds, because not a lot of palettes have those matte bolds. They have more like those matte, I mean not matte, the bold metallics rather than a bold matte. So these are really, really nice. They're creamy. This one's just a little bit dry, and then this one is a little bit dry. But that's okay. We're going to see what it looks like on the eyes. So now I'm going to zoom you in, get closer to my eyes, and test this BB Advanced Eyeshadow in Soft Linen. I use it as an eyeshadow primer. I just put a little bit on the lids and then just kind of rub it through. That way I have a good base. The only thing is I don't have, there's no base in this one to set my, to set it. So I'm just going to go with it and just blend on top and see how that goes. First color I kind of want to grab, and I'm going to see how it goes. I'm kind of going with what I feel might be okay. I like the greens. I'm kind of liking the greens. I think I'm going to go for the greens. So for my crease shade, I'm actually going to pull the orange just to add a little bit of warmth. Maybe the orange or the yellow. I think I'll go yellow. Never mind. I'm going to go with the yellow. So I'm getting my Luxie 205 tapered blending brush. And I'm just going to... Wow, that is really yellow. This is going to be my crease shade. Now this is probably the most successful yellow besides in my Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, which I actually don't use as much anymore because the colors for me just weren't doing it. So I'm just going to blend out these edges real quick because this is a lot of yellow. This is super yellow. I like it though. I want that yellow. That's what I'm looking for. So I have the yellow easily blended in my crease. And then I'm going to go in with a flat, this is going to be a concealer brush. It's my Luxie 211 brush. Do the outer corner. There's no dark colors. That's the only thing. So I'm going to take this matte shade right here that I was having a little bit difficulty swatching. And I'm going to put this on my outer corner. This is going to be a color you're going to have to work with a little bit. It's not too patchy, but it's a little bit. Alright. I know I always do the same kind of look. It's just what works for me when I'm demoing these because this is like my go-to shape. So I'm just taking a little bit more of the yellow, and this one doesn't have names. That's what I'm kind of weirded out about because usually they have names. And see, it's not blending very well. Well, I mean it is, but it's still really patchy. Kind of I'm not liking that. There's some fallout, so that's the only thing. I think I'm going to take another blending brush. This is a 229 blending brush. It's just a little bit smaller. I'm going to pick up the teal and just kind of work it that way because I feel like if I'm blending it away with the yellow, the whole color just goes. And I don't want the whole color to go. So I'm just kind of adding that into the crease. I always blow out my crease a lot just because I like that look. You can still, in this one, kind of see the yellow peeking through, so that's kind of a little disturbing. I think you just have to play with this teal. It's a little bit hard and patchy to deal with, but if you hear the sniffing noises, it's just my dogs, because one of them's trapped in here. She kind of, I closed the door and she was just like, what the heck? I'll let her out in just a minute. But yeah, you could still see that yellow peeking through. Do you see it? See how patchy it is? It's alright, but it's bold. I like that. Okay, I'm going to clean off this brush real quick. Where did I put my Kleenex? I know, I should probably get a color switch thing so that I can kind of change out my colors a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with this bright lime green color. This one spoke to me. I just needed to see it. Oh yeah, I like that one. They're very successful on their metallic shades. So if you're looking for a really good lime green, this is a good lime green. I'm gonna be very tropical today. I kind of like it though. Ooh, that is so pretty. In person, it's even prettier. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with the metallic teal. And I'm gonna put this guy in the middle to kind of marry those two shades. That's really, really pretty teal. These colors are gorgeous. And by no means am I sponsoring anybody or anything like that. I'm a small YouTube channel that just likes makeup as an art. So when I say these are amazing, I am being honest and truthful. I'm not a liar. I don't like when sometimes people just say, oh, it's amazing, it's great. And they got it as PR and they're just kind of like saying that just to keep the PR. I don't know, it's just my personal thing. So I put on a little bit more of that matte teal, and then I'm going to take a little bit more of the yellow and buff out the edge a little bit, because now that I've built it up, it looks a lot better. You just have to be very careful with these colors because they're very bold. So they're meant to kind of slowly build, so you're going to have patience for it. I know this is like super like, I look like a parrot, but that's okay. All right, so I need to pop a brow bone highlight just because I need to, and I'm gonna pull from my Magic palette because that had a highlight in it. I was so excited it had a brow bone color. So let me just grab a brush. There we go. And it's Cassie. And I'm gonna put that brow bone highlight. I know I didn't do my brows. I should have done those first, but oh wow, this is such a perfect brow bone highlight. I know I should have probably set my primer with that color, but I didn't want to pull from that palette too much. I just needed a brow bone highlight, but okay. All right, so my brows are sloppily done. I'm sorry about that. My brows are just not working today. I have like scraggly hairs everywhere. But anyways, my brows are done. My face is done. I'm going to start working on the lower lash line. So I'm going to get a smudger brush like this. This is from Royal & Langnickel. This is the BX95. It's just a smudger brush. And I want to pick up some other colors as well. So I'm actually going to pick up the purple and do this on my lower lash line. There's some fallout with that purple. Kind of want to flick it out a little bit. Oof, there's a lot of fallout with this guy. But for a purple matte shade, it isn't bad. Wow. Huh. It's very, very difficult to work with a little bit. All right, taking my small Luxie 237, this is a smaller blending brush. I'm going to take the kind of like pinkish shade, and I'm going to blend out the lower lash line. I'm not going to take it too much into the wing. Sorry. I need concentration for this, but think I got it. I'll buff it all the way to the wing. Why not? I'll take a clean blending brush though, because I feel like this is just a little bit intense. Just kind of buff it out. There is major fallout, so I'm just kind of sweeping that away. Now to put something in the inner corner, and the first shade I gravitate to is going to be this rose gold. That means I'm not going to have anything really in my inner corner because there's nothing else metallic, and I like a metallic inner corner color. And the only shade I haven't used is the brown and the orange, so I'll use that in further tutorials. So I'm just going to clean off my smudger brush and then just dip into the rose gold shade right here. It's beyond pretty. It really is. And I'm going to actually put this in the inner corner. So I'm going to carry it to the inner corner. Oh wow, it's pretty. I kind of feel like it needs some blending, so I am going to pick up the orange shade and kind of lightly buff that and buff it into the pink. I feel like it just needs a little something. So that's just a little bit of the orange. I just haven't used the brown, so I do want to use the brown. I'm going to get the brown with my smudger brush. I cleaned it off. And I'm actually going to go right about in between the purple and the green and just kind of wing it out ever so slightly. Just kind of blend those. It's a weird color, you know what I mean? And it doesn't really go with the palette, but we're making do. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that green and just blend a little bit in there. Softly. Alright, so I'm gonna finish the eyes off camera, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you my overall thoughts about the palette. Alright, so I completed my makeup. I actually used a very mild lipstick. This is the Basquiat, what is it, the Abstract in a cream formula. This is so pretty as a nude. I'm not into nudes, but this is a real pretty nude. So yeah, I like creams because they're kind of glossy. So yeah, let's get into my overall thoughts about the palette. So first off, I want to say I like how small it is. It's really small, compact. You do get a big size of colors, and they're really rainbowy. My eyes look so rainbowy, but I really like it. I did use every shade in this palette. The brown kind of just didn't go with the rest of the look, but I don't care. It actually tied it in a little bit. But the brown, to me, feels like it shouldn't be there, but it could be a crease shade if you really don't use browns that much, I guess. I don't know. If you're darker skin tone, definitely the brown would be really nice. So the purple was just it was pigmented, there was fallout. This one was the most difficult shade to work with because it did kind of blend away, but it's still there. It just takes a little bit of building. So if you're patient with your shadows, this will work out perfectly for you. This has to be my favorite shade in the palette because it's super lime green, beautiful. Look at that. The shades are just so intense. I really like it. This is a shade, or this is a palette that's not going to be for the faint of heart. It's not going to be for somebody that just likes everyday looks. This is going to be someone who loves bold looks. I feel like a lot of their palettes are very bold, very, they're very out there. They're full of pigment for all skin types, so I really like that about them. This is probably my favorite one just because I love bold colors, and I've been looking for something to kind of replace my what is it, my Urban Decay Electric palette. I use it still. It's still in my collection. It's my very first palette that I ever bought from the high-end department, but I still love it. I'm not going to let it go. It's sentimental to me. But this is going to be something nice to kind of pair it with. It doesn't have the neon pink, of course. It has more of a subdued pink, but that's okay. It's like a magenta. It's very pretty. I think this would be pretty in the crease as well. So yeah, I can create a lot of looks with this, I feel. Mostly tropical looking, bold looks, but at least I can incorporate some more color if I want to pair it with like the Nubian palette, if I want to resurface that really. So yeah, I do love the palette. Pigment is really nice. It's there. It's bold. The only thing is you do have to kind of be patient with it to get the look going. So yeah, for $17.50 plus I used a 10% discount code TRENDMOOD so that I can get it for about 19 something because you have to pay for shipping. It was about $3 I think for shipping. So total came out to like $19.42, which is not bad for this size of a palette, and then you're getting good quality shadows. So I feel like Juvia's Place is really, really stepping up their game, really bringing these palettes and showing them and showcasing them in the best way. So would I go back and get another Nubian palette? Would I go back and get another Juvia's Place palette? Absolutely, because these are worth it and they come here so fast. I ordered mine when it launched. I can't remember when it launched. As soon as it launched, they shipped it the next day. It came in like 2 days from New Jersey. That's pretty fast. So their shipping is unbelievably fast. It came in packaged well with a little peanut packaging and then a kind of like styrofoam wrapping so it doesn't break. Didn't come in shattered. I haven't had any bad experiences with Juvia's Place as far as shipping goes. So yeah, I would definitely, if you're looking for a really good bold palette, this would be really nice for summer. I would wear it all season because I really love bold colors. But yeah, I would definitely repurchase from Juvia's Place because it's awesome. So yeah, that's the end of my video on the Zulu palette from Juvia's Place. I will link down my other videos from Juvia's Place down below in the description box. And thank you guys so much for watching my video. Thank you for supporting me and being patient. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.